Three scouts go on a camping trip, but upon their return, the world has changed. Zombies have taken over, and they must save their friends before the army bombs the city. The scouts showcase their epic skills to save the world. The movie begins with a janitor cleaning the lab corridor. He has headphones on at a high volume and dances to the tune of the song. He approaches the lab window and tries to catch the scientist's attention, but the scientist is so immersed in his work that he cannot see him. The janitor opens the lab door, and the scientist leaves for a short break, advising him not to touch anything. As the scientist moves out, the janitor becomes curious about a partition in the lab. Behind the curtain, he sees a man lying on a bed. He reads the DOB written on the man's wrist, but does not understand that it stands for date of birth. Soon, the monitor starts beeping. The janitor thinks the man is dying due to his error and tries to resuscitate him before the scientist returns. On the other hand, the scientist is stuck with a non-functional vending machine that is taking forever to dispense snacks. At the same time, the janitor attempts to give the unconscious man forceful breaths, accidentally causing the man's stomach to rupture. The boy's hands become covered in blood, and at that moment, the man wakes up. He starts chasing the janitor, and after slapping and throwing him several times, he bites him, turning him into a zombie. The scientist is still struggling with the vending machine. The janitor silently stands behind the scientist for a moment before biting him, turning him into a zombie as well. The scene shifts to the scout leader conducting a class to recruit new scouts. For many years, no one has enrolled, leaving only Ben, Carter, and Augie. Tonight, Augie is set to receive the highest badge as a scout, so they are going on a camping trip to celebrate. After assigning everyone their duties at the camp, they recite the scout's oath and go their separate ways. Ben and Carter leave together in Carter's car. Ben tells him that he will soon leave the scouts because he will not be going to the senior years with the scout badge. However, Ben knows that this will break Augie's and the scout leader's hearts. Their argument heats up, distracting Carter, who then hits a deer standing in the middle of the road. He stops the car and sees that the deer is badly injured, but their car tire has also burst. Meanwhile, they spot Ben's sister arriving with her friend in their car and wave for help. Carter secretly likes Ben's sister but has never had the courage to tell her. During their conversation, Carter grows worried when he notices that the deer they hit is gone. He tries to draw everyone's attention, but Ben is too excited about the secret party Chloe invited him to that night. Carter parks the car in front of Ben's house. An old woman living beside their car scares Carter, telling him that Ben and his family should not throw trash near her house next time. She lives alone next door and owns numerous cats. Ben assures Carter that he will go with him to the secret party. They plan to go camping first, and when Augie and the scout leader fall asleep, they will silently leave and return before they wake up. Meanwhile, the disciplined scout leader is already on his way to the campsite when suddenly the deer that was hit by Carter's car attacks him. He efficiently kills the deer by stabbing it in the eyes with his favorite knife. However, just as he turns around, the scientist bites him, turning him into a zombie. At the same time, Carter and Ben stop in front of a liquor store. Ben decides to give money to a junkie to buy drinks for them since they can't do it themselves due to age restrictions. However, the junkie makes a mess inside the store. Just then, their former schoolmate, who works as a bar waitress, crosses the store's door. Her bag's strap breaks, and Carter helps her. She is grateful for his assistance and notices that they need help buying liquor. She buys it for them and heads to the bar. Meanwhile, Augie waits for them at the campsite. They arrive just in time, but are surprised that the scout leader has not appeared yet. They assume he must have something important to do and start setting up the camp. That night, Augie tells Carter that he saw the same tree they carved into 7 years ago in this jungle. Carter feels guilty about ditching Augie for the party. However, Ben wakes him up at night, urging him to leave. As they cross the jungle, they find the scout leader's favorite knife, and the marks indicate that someone dragged him away. Careless Ben ignores this, and as they start the car, they find Augie standing in front of them. He is heartbroken knowing that his friends were planning to ditch him. Ben finally reveals the truth. For the past 2 years, they have been part of the scout group, but now they want to leave. Dejected, Augie heads back into the jungle. The streets are deserted, and the liquor store they visited earlier has a broken window. Ben sees that the bar is open with no guard at the front door, so he excitedly drags Carter inside. Ben goes to get some cash, telling Carter to wait for him. Meanwhile, a strangely behaving bar girl appears in front of Carter, and as Ben returns, she begins dancing alone on a pole. Her body bursts as she stretches. At the same time, the bar guard runs toward them to bite, and they flee the hall to save their lives. Carter hides in a restroom. After checking each door, the guard finds Carter, but before he can bite him, Denise shoots him in the head, and he falls down. Denise drags him out with her, and they take Ben along to reach a safer place. On the other hand, Augie goes to the scout leader's home to meet him. His whole house is filled with pictures of the woman he loves. Outside the bar, Denise shoots the bagger they saw earlier that day and gets in the car to escape. But the car tire goes flat, and numerous zombies are about to attack them. Denise stands in the front row to kill the zombies while Carter tries to change the tire quickly. Luckily, he completes the process and races the car in the opposite direction. Meanwhile, Augie uses the bathroom in the scout leader's home, but there is no water to clean up. He is disgusted by the smell, but does not realize that the scout leader is standing behind him, trying to grab him. The scout leader enters through the front door looking strange, but then he suddenly begins running after Augie to bite him. Augie tries to push him away using every trick he can think of. Eventually, the scout leader throws him downstairs, and Augie runs to find something to use against him. He grabs a fire spray and aims it at the scout leader, setting his body on fire. At the same time, Ben, Carter, and Denise reach the state police department, but it is locked. They have evacuated all the survivors, and the army will bomb the city in 2 hours. As numerous zombies approach, they make their way inside the building and grab every weapon they can find. All the prisoners have also turned into zombies. Augie ties up the scout leader in his home and leaves. Meanwhile, Carter and his friends sit outside the jail, which seems like the safest place right now. While sitting outside, Carter prepares a pointed stick by peeling it with a knife. Denise shares that she learned to shoot from her former boyfriend. She admits she has a bad choice in guys and now prefers to live alone. Suddenly, a song plays, diverting the zombies' attention, and they leave the building, leaving Carter and his friends in the jail. Meanwhile, Augie passes by a car, and its alarm starts blaring. All the zombies run toward him, so he runs toward the building where his friends are hiding. Carter has made a hook to get the key to unlock the jail, but Augie comes running inside, and the key falls into a hole. He opens the lock using his scout trick, and everyone runs outside. They lock the attacking zombies behind a grill and see the same beggar they encountered earlier. He dances to Augie's singing, but a soldier comes and shoots him in the head. He rescues all of them and takes them to a safer place in his car. They have to leave the city for the rescue camp in 2 hours, but Ben's sister and the rest of the people are at the party. Ben wants to take them with him, but the location Chloe told him was wrong. Ben remembers that his sister writes everything in her diary, so she must have noted where they are going. They sit in the car and race toward Ben's home. Carter is surprised to see the pretty room of Ben's sister. He has always loved her and starts going through her things. After searching for a while, they cannot find the diary. Ben and Augie go downstairs after hearing suspicious voices, leaving Denise and Carter to search for the diary. Denise knows that Carter likes Ben's sister. She tells him to take a bold step the next time he meets her. He appreciates her advice, and at that moment, the next-door old woman attacks Ben downstairs. With her, another zombie also barges into the house. Ben and Augie try to kill them, but the old woman tries to bite Ben and fails because her teeth fell out somewhere. At the same time, Augie rescues him from trenches of the old woman, and before any other zombie could reach them, they run out of the room. They rush toward Ben's sister's room and shut the door, barricading it with furniture. Afterwards, they open the window and decide to jump on the trampoline to get to the other side of the wall, one by one. All of them make it across. But when Carter is about to jump, the zombies enter the room. They throw the drawer, and the sister's diary falls out. Carter quickly picks it up and jumps on the trampoline while Denise diverts the zombies' attention toward herself. They find it safer to enter the old woman's house for now, as it is abandoned. But it's all dark, and they cannot see a thing. Suddenly, they feel someone's presence. It's a cat on Augie's back. The cat has also turned into a zombie, and Denise pushes it away with the stick in her hand. Now they notice there are numerous zombie cats around them, so they run away before the zombie cats can reach them. As soon as they start the car, the zombie scout leader stands in front of them. Augie mentions that he survived the scout leader's attack and then set him on fire. They race their cars outside toward the building where Ben's sister is at the party. At that point, Denise leaves on a bike, promising Carter that they will meet again. Carter appreciates that she is genuinely a courageous and nice woman. Now all three friends, Ben, Carter, and Augie, make it their mission to use everything they have learned as scouts and try to do everything they can to save the world. Before heading toward the party site, they enter a department store and grab every weapon that can help them in any adverse situation. Meanwhile, Chloe goes into a room with a boy, and he gets down. Suddenly, a zombie grabs him and bites him alive. The boy then bites Chloe, turning her into a zombie. Chloe does not stop there and enters the party hall. At the party, Ben's sister is worried that her brother has not arrived yet. Her boyfriend laughs and admits that he never shared the right address with her brother. This angers her, and she slaps him. But when she turns around, she sees Chloe standing in front of her as a zombie. Chloe runs to attack, but she makes her way to another door. Unfortunately, numerous zombies are entering through that door, so she quickly heads to the stairs to save herself. Suddenly, Carter's voice alerts all the zombies, and they crush every zombie moving toward them with the unique weapons they made. Carter sees Ben's sister in trouble and drags her to a safer area. He evacuates all the survivors with her through the front door and then moves toward the staircase. They reach the basketball court, but it has only one door. They barricade the door, but numerous zombies are about to break in at any moment. Augie tells them he has a bomb that he wants to detonate because he never wants to become a zombie. He would prefer to die with dignity. They agree, and he begins connecting the bomb. At that moment, Denise emerges from the pipeline used for garbage. Augie tries to light the bomb, and after succeeding, he jumps down safely. The bomb blasts, killing many zombies. As they stand outside, the scout leader comes, and a bomb falls out of his pocket. It detonates, and the scout leader's body shatters into many pieces. At the same time, military vans arrive to rescue them. The next morning, Carter says goodbye to Denise for unofficially acting as their fourth scout. She encourages him to express his feelings to Ben's sister. At that moment, Carter sees Ben's sister, and despite not saying anything to her, he kisses her. And the movie ends here.